The next question, it is the axis is parallel to HP and inclined to VP by some angle and also inclined to PP, the profile plane. So in the previous case, the axis was parallel to VP and inclined at an angle to HP. In this case, the axis is parallel to HP and inclined at an angle to VP. So let's see what is the exercise problem or the problem statement. Draw the projections of a pentagonal prism. Here also it is a pentagonal prism. Base 25 millimeter side and axis 50 millimeter long, resting on one of its rectangular faces on the HP with the axis inclined at 45 degree to the VP. So in this case, it is resting on one of its rectangular faces on the HP. In the previous case, it was resting on HP with one of its base corners. But in this case, it is resting on HP with one of its rectangular faces with the axis inclined at 45 degree to VP. So note down the question and then let's see how it will look like. Okay, now let's see how it will look like. See, this will be the simple position. In the simple position, it is resting on HP with one of its base, the rectangular faces, one of its rectangular faces on HP and the axis perpendicular to VP, like this. So in the front view, it will be, in the front view, it will be a pentagon with one of its base edges, one of its edges coinciding with the XY line. So it is the front view. And in the top view, it will be a rectangle. It will be a rectangle. And the rectangle will be obtained like two equal rectangles. In the previous case, it was not two equal rectangles. In this case, it is two equal rectangles. So see the difference in the two positions. In one case, one of the base edges was perpendicular to XY. In the second case, one of the base edges is parallel to XY. When the base edge is parallel to XY, in the front view or in the top view, actually we get two equal rectangles. This green rectangle as well as this red rectangle, both will be of equal size. But when the axis was, when one of the base edges was perpendicular to VP, base edge was perpendicular to VP or perpendicular to XY, that is in the previous case, the two base edges, the two rectangles were of different size. So in the previous case, in the front view there were two rectangles, but both the rectangles were of different size. But in this case, both the rectangles will be of same size, that is in the top view. Now what we do is we use the same, we redraw the same top view in the second case. The same top view we draw it giving an inclination of 45 degree inclination to the axis. Since the axis is inclined at 45 degree, all the longer edges will also be inclined at 45 degree to the XY line. See, all these edges, this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, all the 5 longer edges will be at an angle inclined at 45 degree to the XY line. This shape is really reproduced here. This same shape is reproduced here. Say the display line. See, like this. This is the first initial front view. In the initial front view, these two lines, the inner two lines are hidden lines because it is below our actual line, below our actual object. See these two lines. These two lines are hidden lines. See, these two lines are hidden lines. And those two lines will be hidden in this position also. In this position also, this line as well as this line will be hidden because this figure is rotated to draw this line. This figure. So both these two lines will be hidden lines. In the front view, there is the shape difference is there. See, in the front view, in the initial front view, there was only a regular pentagon there, but in the second view, there is a pentagon here, a regular pentagon, and here also there is not a regular pentagon. A pentagon is here, and here also there is a pentagon. But in this pentagon, all the corners, all the lines starting from this corner, this particular corner, all the edges starting from this corner, this edge, as well as this edge, all these three edges will be invisible because it is the farthest. It is the farthest from, or it is the closest to XY line in the top view. In the top view, this corner is the closest to the XY line. So in the front view, all the lines, all the edges starting from that particular edge will be invisible. So that is the condition. So now let's see how it is being drawn in PowerPoint. As usual, we first draw the XY line or XY line, then the pentagon with one of its base edges coinciding with the XY line, A1, B2, C3, B4, B5, etc. So A and 1 coincides, B and 2 coincides, C and 3 coincides, D and 4, E and 5. So all these 5 points will coincide in this. I mean, all these 10 points will be coinciding in pairwise, A and 1, B and 2, C and 3, etc. So now we go for the top view. In the top view, in order to get the top view, we first draw a projector from A1, A-1 dash, then a projector from C dash 3 dash. So from B dash 2 dash, then C dash 3 dash, from E dash 5 dash, then T dash 4 dash. So the distance between two faces, two of them is 25. So this distance is 25 as given in the question paper. I mean in the question. So this is the top view. But in this top view, the length of the top view is 50. So since this point is visible, this edge should also be visible. This edge should be visible. These 2 points, this edge will be visible. These 2 green dots, the points at the green dots, the edges at the green dots are invisible. So here it is dotted lines. So the dots you don't have to draw, it is for the representation purpose. So this will be the top view. Now the points are to be marked A1, B2, C3, D4 and E5. These points are marked. Now what we have to do is we have to reconstruct this figure with the C3, D4, B2, E5, A3, etc. making an angle of 45 degree. The same figure is repeated here with a 45 degree inclination. So this figure is repeated here with a 45 degree inclination. A1, B2, C3, D4, E5. Then you draw it projectors from all the points A, B, C, D, E and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top view to the front view in order to get the front view. So this line these lines are very feeble. I think it is very here there is a line goes here, so it is very feeble. So likewise in the previous case how we obtained the points, it is a reverse process. In that case you obtain the front view and then you have to go for the top view. In this case you obtain the top view and then you have to go for the front view. So this is A1, this is B1, C1, D1, E1, and 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, and 5, 1. Now see, C is the point that is nearest to the XY line. So all the edges starting from C will be invisible edges. So C1 dash D1 dash will be invisible, C1 dash B1 dash will be invisible, C1 dash 3 1 dash will also be invisible. All other edges will be visible. So from 1 is nearest to the observer or the farthest from the XY line. So all the edges starting from the point 1 will be visible. C. And the C is the farthest or the nearest to the XY line. So all the edges starting from C is invisible. Now all the points you join it. So this is the final drawing. I'll show it once more and then you can draw. First draw the XY line, then the pentagon in the front view, then mark the points, then we go for the top view, then the top view is rotated and at a 45 degree with the XY line, then the points are it is the repetition of the initial front top view. Then we go for the front view. All the 10 points in the front view are marked. Then the points are joined. Which are the visible, which are invisible, that you have to be careful. In this case, we haven't drawn the axis. Actually, when it is not said, the axis is not necessary, but always it is better to draw the axis. But in this case, even if we draw the axis, it is not, it may not be that visible. So it will be visible, but we don't need it actually here. So we are avoiding it. So you just draw it.